All you homeowners have unique needs. Some feel the need to paint their door a vibrant shade of blue. Others have the need to decorate their bathroom with fish, anchors, and other nautical items. And because each homeowner has unique needs, Geico helps you get the right coverage for your home and what's in it. That way, you get exactly what's right for you, even if your needs are unique. Get more with Geico.
Down at the corner where the Archons dwell, got stories and wisdom more than I can tell, lost in the power of the cards they deal. Down at the corner where the Archons dwell.
Before you start asking questions.
I want the wahaha to start too.
That maybe I'll start that at certain points. I have nobody to shit on this week, so last week I could shit on Astron. Now, I mean, he's still public enemy number one, but
Oh my goodness.
that's all I got.
Thank you for your donation, Wookie.
No problem. I will pay $1 every time. You know, last week Astron says I don't have what it takes to understand the matchup. This week, Dr. Sheep goes, well, if you were good at KeyForge, and then loses the best 2 out of 3 with fraud. You ready, Sheep?
Yes.
All right. What? What's going on, everybody? I'm the one, the only, the WOOKIE, joined here with the normal cast of Merry Misfits. We got the one, the only, the Drasbor.
Oh, we're married today, huh?
Yep.
All right. Do this.
Yep. We got the Ewokiest of Ewoks, Ewok Jr.
Hello, KeyForge community. Glad to be here and celebrating Wookie's expectancy.
Yep. And we got the PhD of KeyForge, Dr. M. Sheep.
Moo.
Did you moo at me? I don't
I'm sorry. I'm sorry to the rest of the world.
I don't think that's
I'm
what
just
sheep.
shaking my head.
I don't think that's what sheep say, sir.
Huh.
All right.
Confused, aren't I?
Yep. Now I'm super confused. But this week we have our titular segment. Why I suck at KeyForge. Who's got one this week? Sheep.
I went to a store championship in Illinois.
Yep.
Nice.
I brought 0 decks,
Oops.
and it turned out it was Archon. I just assumed it was sealed because everything's sealed. Right? Who wants to play Archon? It was Archon.
But the best
focused.
part is you had just gone ahead and cleaned out your KeyForge bag.
Yeah, I brought 0 decks. So I thankfully Morgan borrowed me a pretty good deck, but then I got witch queened. So it didn't go real far, but yeah. So yes, that's how I sucked at KeyForge.
So
Is by having thralls discard both battle fleets.
he's a little salty today. Watch out, people. He's a little salty. He might be throwing houses and buses. But
Bus houses.
bus houses, that's right. Houses made from buses. But what moves us into our next segment, OP News with Dr. M. Sheep. Sheep, what's going on in the world of OP for KeyForge?
Nothing?
Is the correct answer, Sheep.
I mean, we got Vault Tours coming up shortly.
Yep.
We're in the last weeks of store championships.
Well, there has been a little uprising from the peasants in regards to it has been a month without news about prophetic visions, so
That's not OP.
I know.
Yeah.
But that's been the biggest shout. It's quiet. Which is kind of
Prophetic imaginings.
You know,
no visions.
When was the first Vault Tour last year? Was the first Vault Tour Roseville last year?
Yes.
Yeah.
And when was that? Was that in April? Or was it now?
I want to say it was early April. I could go back and look.
It was April 5th, 6th, and 7th, first week in April.
And
There
by
you go.
that time, we already had Winds are winds of not winds of exchange. We already had GR in our hands, did we not? Yeah,
we did,
because
I remember
sealed GR was the play.
Yeah. I remember going to Roseville last year with my really cool WoW deck that I was all excited about, and I got stomped by GR and went, well, I guess
That's a thing.
WoW is done.
So the last
Yep.
development update on the game found was February 11th.
That's fine.
Isn't
Yeah.
has anybody heard from Jeremy since February 11th?
Who?
Jeremy
Which one's that?
Darcy.
Never heard of her.
Dare say.
Come
Come
the
on,
marketing.
the guy at GG who does the game farm stuff.
Yeah.
You mean the marketing manager?
The guy with the little hands.
Oh, Tiny
No.
Hands. That's him. Okay, now I know who you're talking about.
Oh gosh.
Now I get it. Yeah, that guy. I don't know. Oh. Is he still with the company?
Ah,
I think so. So. I know
Not on
that
his
he
cruise.
was.
Outside of Orbital Tangent, Josh, I haven't seen a post or anything from any of them.
This is
Josh has been all over.
Yeah,
So
I was gonna
he's
say
been
besides
active.
Josh, this is not wrong.
I mean, Sky Jedi did. I don't think. Maybe he did.
Do we need to
respond
send
my
a wellness check to
ping.
his house?
Did they?
maybe.
Oh, I can't.
I don't know.
Wow.
Weird.
I
yeah,
definitely pinged Sky Jedi because I opened a deck with a legacy Amberheart in talk. So it was a legacy coming from Sanctum into Redemption, and it made the Master Vault all goofball.
Oh boy.
And there's, according to the Master Vault, there's only 11 cards in that house. And it's all goofball. So,
Yeah, and it turns out you're not the only person with that issue.
yeah. So, whatever. The deck is just,
Yeah.
just a rando sealed deck. But I pinged him to see.
You and DC Trey's both upset not getting a gigantic and his guaranteed gigantic. So.
Mm.
Oh, somebody
What?
didn't get a gigantic? The guaranteed gigantic?
I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah, there's a handful of those going on.
isn't
too.
this par for the course? Weren't we seeing DT and Winds of Exchange packaging?
That's an only once occurrence.
I mean, are there more than one of? Never mind.
These other ones, yes, there are multiple gigantic reports where there's no
multiple.
gigantic.
Okay.
There's multiple of these upload errors that Drazcor just experienced.
Clearly, that
Yeah.
little cell phone ain't doing its job.
Well, that doesn't check any of that stuff. We haven't had any duplicate decks.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. And any of those in post WoW. So that's good.
Yeah. What? So we fixed that problem, and now we have two others.
Well,
Typical IT. You IT guys
Yeah.
suck. Like
I
every
know.
time. Fix one problem, two more arise. Why not?
Uh-huh. Yep. That's how this is the way in IT.
Is that your guys' motto? Job security is our number one
There you
cause.
go.
Fix one
There you
problem,
go.
cause two others.
Wow.
Put in a support ticket. I'll get around to it.
Yep, that's job security. You can't fix things right.
No, you
Wow.
gotta half-ass it and just fix it for right now, and then we'll figure out what the problem is later on. Right?
I just vibe code now, so
Oh, you
that's where I'm
vibe?
at.
What is vibe coding?
Oh, vibe coding? You know
what's-
about vibe coding?
I've never heard of vibe coding. Is that where you
So
shove it into
it's-
ChatGPT and it does your work for you?
Basically, except now there's new IDEs that do it for you. So Cursor, Windsurf, like there's a few of them, and it does like a reasonably okay but actually terrible job.
Mm.
And it is like if you're just trying to make something random and kind of cool, it's actually really awesome. If you're actually trying to make software that's like good and complicated, it's not there yet, but it is pretty cool. So if you're an engineer and you're not checking this stuff out, you need to, because it's going to be important for your future.
I wonder if I could use ChatGPT to fix drawbetter.cards.
So actually, funny story. I actually was like, let me see if I can vibe code my way to fix drawbetter.cards. I legit did this. So it was pretty awesome initially, because I was just like, hey, there's this open source project, Draw Better Cards. Can you go get it? And it like went out and found it and pulled it, installed it. I was like, I need to set up Express, all this. So it did all that for me. I was like, this is pretty cool. And then I was like, I need a database. And it built something, and it wasn't right. And then
All you homeowners have unique needs. Some feel the need to paint their door a vibrant shade of blue. Others have the need to decorate their bathroom with fish, anchors, and other nautical items. And because each homeowner has unique needs, Geico helps you get the right coverage for your home and what's in it. That way, you get exactly what's right for you, even if your needs are unique. Get more with Geico.
I was like, hey, the tokens are messed up. And it was like, oh yeah, the tokens are messed up, which is the same place that Southerly stuck. And then it was like, I know, I'm going to change all this code to try to make it work. And it just started making a mess of the project. And I was like, no, don't do that. You got to fix the actual problem. It was like, oh, no, but I did all these things. So I had to re-download all the source. And then it tried to do a different thing that was totally wrong. So, and then I ran out of tokens. So it's like, you need to upgrade to the premium ultra edition. And I was like, shit. So
I have the premium.
That's my experience.
I have the premium ultra edition. I think
for Windsurf.
Oh no, ChatGPT.
Yeah. Well, this is they're similar, right? So I was what was I using? I think I was using Claude via Windsurf. But anywho, this is not a software podcast.
Yes, this is not a software podcast. But if you were looking for updates on drawbetter.cards, we still don't know where Southerly Elf is.
Yeah, it's still broken.
Southerly being an elf.
I don't know. Maybe I should just try to vibe code it from scratch. Maybe that'd be work better. I don't know.
Probably. I mean, we still have all the. I think we still have all the old numbers.
Well, we do. I'm suspicious that the code that is in the repo is not the same version of code that's actually running on the website. Or I don't know. So it definitely don't work when you pull it down.
One day we'll get it all back together, and by that time, KeyForge might not even be a game anymore.
Oh, Don't say that.
I won't say that.
Well, I mean, being that our time frame to get it working is about 35 years.
Yep.
Yeah. Wow.
34.
Yeah. When Southerly gets to be our age and has time to do it again. So, 30 years.
What is he doing now?
Being freshly married and having jobs and stuff.
What are you doing? You're
doing
freshly married. What do you buy a house?
Same thing you did. Make children.
It's overrated.
Is that why this episode, the room right now is named what it's named?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Is this actually?
Maybe we're what do you call that? Manifesting, I think is what they call it. We're manifesting. All of a sudden we'll have little elves roaming around.
I mean, I think it's actually called inseminating, but okay.
That's a different thing. And I don't know if you owe $1 now. We'll have to check with the officials.
That was scientific. What do you think, Ewok? Do I owe $1 or am I okay?
50 cents.
50 cents. Oh, okay. That's not bad. That's not bad. So all you gotta do is, okay.
Oh.
All right. But speaking of bothering people from Ghost Galaxy, Draz, why are you harassing Josh?
Yeah. So, I'm doing all the cool stuff, right? We're doing store champs because that's fun. And so, we do our sealed event, right? Which is, of course, open 3, pick 1, right? So we do a sealed event, right? Cool. And then we do our Archon event. So we play, Archon, cool. So then we do our Alliance event, which is a total goofball event where we you open a talk and you open a woe, and it's alliance, so it's GG's. You know, so you gotta force the alliance. You must use a deck from, at least one pod from Woe and one pod from Talk, and then you have to pick one of the tokens, right? So I knew I couldn't submit that to Josh because he'd be like, "What the heck are you doing?" So I just told people to pick one of them, right? When you win, right? So then I go in, I get all the info, right? Go on the site, and I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna start submitting these things, right? Well, so we had bunch of folks having a good time. I'm like, well, I got multiple kits. I'm just gonna submit multiple winners. Get people some accolades. It's gonna be great.
No.
So Josh starts pinging me. He's like, "What are you doing, fool?" I'm like, "Oh, I got multiple
accolade
kits
per thing per store.
Yeah, per store, not per kit, right?" So he's like, "You didn't read the instructions." I was like, "Yes, that's true." So,
Do you see that I'm part of this cast? AC.
Yeah. So I was like, all right. So I went back, figured out who actually won, because I took like snaps of the decks, but I was like, wait, who actually, like, whose deck is this? So I had to go back and figure out who won with what, and so I finally sent it all to him and made him do extra work. So yeah, there you go, Josh.
Yeah,
That's my story.
I knew better. I
So-
also have multiple kits, but did not try to do
I didn't try to do
easy
that.
dirtball shenanigans.
Winner
I'm
means
sorry.
winner, I guess.
I
Yeah.
walked away for a few minutes. Did you try to give out deck accolades to
Yeah.
people who didn't actually get a deck accolade?
Well, I tried to just give out a whole bunch of accolades because we had multiple kits.
Yeah, he was
I was like,
opening
oh,
it. He was
accolade per
opening
kit.
it up.
Oh.
Accolade
I
for
was just
you.
trying to-
Accolade
yeah.
for you. Accolade for you.
Yeah,
Okay.
because they should be giving out more accolades. But then
Like
Josh
what?
is like, no, you're a bad person.
What
So,
accolades? What
but
other
I-
accolades
yeah.
could we give out?
First to lose a game. First to
Yeah.
win a game. First
Best
to tie.
named
Yeah.
deck in March.
Coolest hairstyle.
Uh-huh.
Longest hair.
That's not Ewok.
At least you said it. I was going with the joke, and then I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna do that. And then Jasper was like, I got you, fam. I got it. Because I was like, oh man, I don't have anything to drink. So I was like, well, while Jasper's telling his story, I'll go to the bathroom and grab my soda and my Oreos. And then I come back and you're like, yep, that's the
Oreos.
story.
First to get Oreos on a cast.
These are
double stuff or just like classic?
These are S'morios.
S'morios?
Yeah.
No.
Listen, dog, they're fire.
Yeah.
They are fire.
You're out. You're out.
I mean,
Fire. So
I hear
are
they go real well with flaming hot Mountain Dew.
Yeah, I got my flaming hot Mountain Dew, my S'morios. We had a movie night last night, and we watched Dogman, which is my son's favorite. It was his favorite book growing up was Dogman. Now there's a movie, so we had to watch it, right? So we got snacks, and as I'm perusing, I see S'morios. I'm like, I like s'mores. I like Oreos. We're gonna try this, and
Wow.
they are fire.
They're good. I should check this out.
Fire, dude. They're vanilla cookies, and then they got chocolate and like marshmallow on the inside. Oh. Never gonna be a skinny man. Anyways, so going into the purpose of this episode, what to expect when you're expecting. I'm told that's a terrible name, but
yes,
I'm expecting. Since we had such a fantastic game found.
You did not have enough pause there. Remember, 10
who's the
minutes
father,
pause.
Wookie?
Since we had such a rock star game found, right? We got loads of new players coming to Vault Tours. Right? Loads of them.
Hopefully.
And they're all
Busloads of them.
listening to this cast.
They all listen to this cast. So we are going to go over, well, it started out top 10, and now it looks like about 30 or so.
No.
Oh,
It is
guys,
10
top every
I mean,
card Ewok's ever heard of.
Only 10 of them are numbered. Then the list just continues. Therefore, it's just an extension of 10.
Oh, I see.
That is 100% not true. Actually, read what's there, friends.
See, instead of underlining it like a new thing, he put 3 stars in front of it. I did not.
Yeah.
I did not get that. So we are going
I'm
with the
sorry
10.
I did not press enter for you. That is my fault.
It's I'm a visual learner, right? You got to teach me different than normal. So we are going with the top 10 things to look for, right? When you are playing against, and these are kind of your top 10 archetypes that we have seen.
They're not archetypes.
They kind of are.
Not archetypes.
What would you call it then? Give me a better word.
Well, I would say this, right? If you're a new player or not, like if you're just going in and you're like, hey, what are a few things that I'm looking at my opponent's Archon card that you need to pay attention to, right? And obviously, certainly there's the matchup, right? Oh, based on what you have, but we're talking just more generally. More generally, you got to be looking out in this meta for certain things to know if you gotta react, got to change what you might be doing in your gameplay. So that's what I think this is.
I'm just happy we're almost to a best out of 3. Like we've cut this game down time wise. It could almost be a best out of 3. Almost. We're not quite there yet. We're getting there. But right on the top of the list, Windka. Winds of Death, Key Abduction. Obviously a big thing you need to look out for, because it is going to come and rock your world. Sheep, how did Windka touch your life recently?
The deck that I put an accolade on, and after telling you multiple times was a good deck, you decided to play it, and hey, it turns out it's a good deck. That deck?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's the one.
Yeah. I knew it was good. I took it and won a store championship with it.
You did. It's a Winds of Death double key abduction that can basically forge 2 keys for free.
Plus,
is this the one that Morgan let you when you showed up without a deck, or no? This is one you actually intended to bring.
No, this is one of the decks that Sheep, he hit me over the back of the... So at KFC, Sheep hit me real hard, and I blacked out for like 3 hours, and he just mugged me for all my good decks. That's one of those.
I mean, you don't play KeyForge except at major events, so, like, it's not like you need the decks.
I mean, I play with you on a weekly basis, more or less.
Yeah, but we play sealed.
More times than not, yes, we play sealed. The correct way to play KeyForge.
Right.
No, but anyways, it's a Winds of Death double key abduction. I don't remember if I used all of my key cheats. It also has an ecto charge that it can use.
Yeah, it's
Does it have a target?
Doesn't.
No, it does not have a target. It does not have a rebel.
It's real
Amber
frail.
control is real weird. But what's actually in the deck, it only has 1 boo, 1 in here somewhere,
and 2 UFOs.
And one junk restoration and 2 UFOs. So it's very delicate to you play a UFO or you have to play the boo, or you play the boo without having the in here somewhere, and you discard the in here somewhere in the Winds of Death and
lose.
And then you're like, this is gonna be a really hard game now.
And now you gotta try to flip back around.
It does have double Mamets with discard pips, so that's really good for helping set up the Mars turn and not having to play it early.
Yep.
With the key abductions, it has cool things, but it's like its real Amber control is 1 hypnotic command, which it only has 4 Mars creatures, and 1 what's the other one that's like hypnotic command, but it's only for readied creatures?
Psychic Network.
Yeah.
Yep, Psychic Network. That one. Yeah, which you don't have the rebel, so your Mars creatures are almost never ready.
It does have a proliferator. Oh, it has Don't Believe Your Eyes too.
Yeah, it's got a few things, but it's not a strongly Amber control-y deck.
No.
Yeah,
no.
It really only, I think it only has like 12 or 13 creatures too. So even like you basically have to be at the bottom of your deck when you hit the winds to set up to key abduct.
However, it does have 2 modular exoskeletons and a sling scythe. So you can return basically 3 cards from your discard pile to your hand if you are about to key abduct. That's kind of fun.
That's handy.
It is handy.
Yeah, that's handy.
It is kind of fun.
It's all right. Winka, free key, right?
Yep.
Winds of Death, key abduction. You got to be on the lookout for that.
Yep.
The super combo. But I think if you're going into a vault and with Winds of Death at common, there are so many GR decks. You got to look for Winds of Death just in of itself, regardless if they have key abduction or not, because if you gotta in that case be looking at how thick is my discard pile, how thick is my opponent's discard pile, right? If they're dumping cards and you're just calling a new house and boarding up and they're just dumping cards into discard, they're going to hit you with Winds of Death, archive a ton of creatures, and you're going to be without a board. So you have to sort of keep up with what's in your discard, or have some other means to apply a lot of pressure.
Yeah. So Draz, you're talking, it can definitely be a tempo card. And so on the opposite side, what you have to remember is that if you're ready to flip and your opponent has not played their Winds of Death yet, that's also something to be aware of, especially if you're building this big board. If you're outboarding them, they haven't played their Winds of Death, and you're flipping, that's a really, really bad sign to me. So some of those plays are tempo plays that you want to watch out for.
All right, number 2 on our list, the Mars Shenanigans, Dr. X and Rebel. Also, I would add into this Target. Target is also a part of the Mars Shenanigans.
Zip the Implanter is often part of the Shenanigans.
Yeah.
There's a few variations, right? Often the
it's
Rebel,
basically
Dr. X, is the
X and
core of it.
Rebel. Right.
That's the big one.
That,
and then
that's your
Proliferator
rule
2.
6.
If you have proliferators, allows you to archive cards, which gets crazy. So lots of Mars Shenanigans. No, I don't know how to beat Mars Shenanigans yet. I think it's one. I think it's one of the things later on in this list.
Yeah, it's Purge.
So you can purge. You can go ahead and you can purge. You can go ahead and use it. You can go ahead and utilize a decrease in power for the creatures. You can also have them come in where they're enraged. So there are lines, you just don't typically see them as being Archon viable as often as
I like that. Atlantis puts the common cold in the chat, which is a card that we haven't seen since Coda.
That's a GR.
The common cold's a GR?
Pretty sure.
I'm gonna click on the Archon. Is it really?
Yeah, it's Coda, AOA, and GR. So all 3 sets actually. It actually
I don't think you want it.
Top.
I mean, it does destroy each Mars creature.
Sure.
So what I think is
the wins for them, but
Yeah, what I think is interesting about the Mars Shenanigans, and yes, there are other components, but it's really Dr. X and Rebel. Putting creatures out where Rebel can fight really allows that Rebel Dr. X to continue. And so that has to be a thought process, is how often can it go ahead and go off? Is it better sometimes to not play creatures? It depends on where you are. A lot of these are very situational, but just be aware of it is definitely something. When I see it on an Archon card and it's across from me, knowing that it's there, sometimes I can deal with it, sometimes I can't, but be aware.
All right, next.
Yeah, the other...
Oh, go ahead.
If they don't have the key abduction, scaling Ember Control can be a good counter, right? Because...
Well, I guess we'll go with that because that is on our list. Is it not?
Oh, yeah.
I know it's in here somewhere.
It's Steel. It's shown as number 5.
Oh,
that's also in there.
Yeah, that's also in here. Also in here. But Steel is a big thing right now. Obviously, keep your eyes out if you are going up against anything Skyborn. I guess the assumption, I mean, I don't even need to look at your card and go, yeah, you probably got multiple red lines and against all flags. Katina Fiend, obviously another one. right now that is pretty hot. Everybody loves the 6-power Katina Fiend. Puts a nice big body on board and allows you to steal. Is it steal for Katina or lose?
Yeah,
It's steal.
Steal. That's what
It's
I thought.
steal. Yeah, it's a
But
fight.
they
So
have
again,
to
the best thing.
yeah, Katina. So what's interesting is I do think Skyborn is your line. We did have TMTP in here, but frankly, outside of some very, very upper echelon Coda decks, I'm
Or
not
VM.
really, or VM, but like, yeah, VM is probably a little bit more than where we're seeing for some Coda. You're just not seeing TMTP anymore. So it's interesting. It's something to watch out for, but that large scaling steel is extremely important. But Redline has definitely come in. I mean, Redline, double Redline, those are great against all flags. Basically, as we are coming into the show for tonight, I believe Sheep, we were playing against a deck that had multiple against all flags, like
Or
it's
against all flags and a red line.
yeah. So that's a steely house, and that's real good. So steel has not really changed. Definitely something to be aware of.
I mean, like, I just cannot believe how much Skyborn feels like Shadows did in many sets, where
Old
it's
school
like
Shadows.
it's like action's good, creatures bad. I mean, there's always a couple creatures that are fine, but in general, action's good, creatures bad. And that's exactly how Skyborn are now.
I mean,
Just like
that's
Old Shadow.
kind of, quite a few houses are like that.
Yeah, I guess Geistoid
certainly
are pretty
Shadows
much
more
like
so.
that.
Yeah.
All right.
um,
What do we got next? Archive Hate. Another fun thing that's going around. Clipped Wings, PKE, Desanya.
I don't actually put Clipped Wings in the Archive Hate category that much. I think it's only good against Winds of Death. Other forms of Archive, so they shuffle them in. You're not actually losing the cards. They're just kind of concentrating your deck. It's not
Yeah.
as critical.
Clipped Wings, Dis, Action, Amber Pip, play, choose one, purge a random card from your opponent's hand, or shuffle your opponent's archives into their deck. So the shuffling you don't really care about as much as your argument. That's interesting.
I mean,
this hasn't been as devastating to an archive deck as I had thought it might be. I mean, it's still inconvenient, but yeah, you do still get those cards. So, yeah, if you got a big mix of stuff, like you said, Winds of Death. So yeah, you said that already. It's helpful there, but otherwise, yeah, I mean, you still do it, right? You still target the opponent's archives, but it's not devastating.
So that's interesting. I mean, do you see that your recursion is just too powerful in Aria, and it's because you have multiple in here somewheres? Whereas if you only are looking at two, potentially you're hitting both of them. So because you will see people who will cycle them.
Oh yeah. I mean, cycling them, but then if you've got a
if you have another one, yeah,
and they shuffle it, right, and then it's like, okay, well, I'm just going to draw a bunch of Geistoid cards again. Not as convenient, but not awful.
the real Ember or Archive disruptor right there is Desanya, gaining the Ember for all the Ember for all the archive cards in there.
Yeah, you're just not seeing a ton of Desanya.
Desanias are rare, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah, so you're not going to see it as much.
I think that the same thing will actually fall for Geistoid. So PKE, Siphonator, 2-power Spectre, Spectre creature from Geistoid. Play, gain 1 for each card in your opponent's archives. Your opponent discards each card in their archives. So again, there's still the Amber gain, and I think that is something to be aware of, but it does fall at a rare slot again.
Yeah. I mean, you're still gonna see it. I mean, these are small. The thing that it's kind of driving me nuts right now is, especially Talk, is a small set. So these cards are popping up more and more and more and more and more. Right? Like I'm seeing a ton, and it's really the only decks I'm seeing with Skyborn that are being successful have all the steel. They've got, and again, obviously we determined way back when in Coda that steel real good. And then they kind of went away from it. And they did everything in their power to make sure like steel kind of, it was there, but it wasn't as much. And it was kind of I want to say little, right? Like there's maybe a steel here, a steel there, right? You did have some cards that were like, oh, who am I thinking of? Not shoulder id, but for each key your opponent has forged, you steal an ember. Bonithing, thank you. But it was kind of like reeled in a lot. And then all of a sudden Skyborn came out and they're like, oh, we're just going to release a bunch of steel cards again. And then in TOC, they released even more. I don't know, kind of crazy. Kind of irritates me. Steel was Shadow's thing. Give it back to Shadows. That's kind of a lore thing that irritates me.
They call dibs.
Yeah,
Nobody else can be an outlaw.
I mean,
but there's other houses have had some steel, right? So
sure,
pirates steal.
Get your own gimmick.
While they move around the battlefield.
Yeah, that's fine. Line. That's your gimmick. Being
terrible.
garbage is your gimmick. I mean, that's not my fault.
Yes.
All I'm saying is, like, we have a house that had that gimmick. Give them their gimmick back. It's like they took it away and they're like, oh, here you go.
Yeah, that gimmick's good. It went elsewhere.
You can do it better and with less restrictions. Here you go.
I just think, I don't know, how much of PKE have you guys really seen? Like, PKE can hit, but the problem is it's Amber Skies and it's Geistoid, and the creatures consistently in Geistoid and Amber Skies are not necessarily what I want to see. There's a few that we can hit, but again...
You want all the creatures in Geistoid that were from GR. That kind of funneled over.
And then PKE.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And maybe what is it, Parabyte? The computer makes it
Parabyte's okay for Amber control.
Yeah, a little bit, just a little bit.
I mean, the right situation could be quite good, but yeah, you need some support because it's only 2 power, So
yeah. Next up, recursion. Things you need to be aware of for recursion.
Recursion's just so strong right now. Absolutely.
Well, and you put like the 2, I think like the 3. Well, hold on. Shard of Icky, Arise, and Retro Lee. Okay. Yes.
But then everything else is all Geistoid here.
Well of Memory, mostly. Like Misfit Toys is a card that actually... I'm sorry. If I'm going to point out one card that really needed a emergency errata, I think it's that one. Like, so Island of Misfit Toys is busted.
Yeah, Island of Misfit Toys, artifacts, Geistoid location, action, return each Geistoid card from your discard pile to your hand, purge Island of Misfit Toys.
And then if you get a Well of Memory, too, you can get your Island of Misfit Toys back. Yay!
There you go.
Giving ups for losers.
Wait, no, wait. Hold on. It purges itself.
Well does. Does it?
No,
no, the island does.
The island purges.
But Well of Memory allows you to get it back.
No. Well of Memory is Geistoid artifact. Again, we got read cards here, Wookie. Well of Memory, artifact, Geistoid, play, purge any number of cards from your hand. For each card purged this way, return a card from your discard pile to your hand. Action, destroy Well of Memory.
Hold on. What card am I thinking of then? I thought it was Well of Memory. I think it's another rare. It's the one that allows you to take a card back from your purge pile. This card does exist.
The Guardian thing?
No, it's in Geistoid and it was in GR.
Oh, is that the 2-power dude when you read?
No, it's another. It's back. Another. It is another.
The Poltergeistoids.
Is that it? I don't know.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm trying to think because interesting. I just opened up Arcana and it says type 38th card.
Huh?
Yeah. You heard me right. Is that because we're getting 2?
Yeah.
2
prophecies.
Prophecies. There it is. That's the card. That's the word I was looking for. 2 prophecies in the next thing.
Geez, now our skinny little deck box is designed for 36 cards or 37
Yeah.
cards. It won't work because now we got like 39 cards.
It is a problem for the sealed ones, right? I think sealed ones, the sleeved ones. I think the unsleeved it's probably still fine.
Oh, the sleeved ones are fine. Like the deck book, I still have room
out of that come from
Burger token.
burger tokens.
For burger tokens, got it. Yeah.
No, if you use Dragon Shield, like they are so tight in there, like it does not make me feel comfortable. So I've started getting 43s because
So tight you feel uncomfortable.
yeah, that's what she said.
Poltergeist, it is Poltergeistoid.
Yeah, Poltergeistoids being another rare Geistoid action. Play, purge a card from a discard pile. If you do, play a creature or artifact from your purge zone as if it were in your hands. Attach Poltergeistoids to it as an upgrade with the text, this card belongs to House Geistoid. The 100% Poltergeistoids.
But other cards we have
just
on,
as you had gotten there too. Yeah.
Other cards you have on there for recursion. I don't know if I consider Juk Restoration recursion, but in here somewhere,
it's efficiency like this. So that isn't necessarily recursion, but it's in hand. You're going ahead and getting efficiency out of it, which is crazy because we used to see Logos as very much your efficiency, and now efficiency is coming more from your Shardbroids, your Shardaviki, you have Junk Restoration in here somewhere.
Why is it every time I get a favorite house, they're like, yeah, too powerful, take it away? Just me? No.
Because you're a dirty power gamer?
Because I'm a degenerate.
Yes.
Yep, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
All makes sense.
You just have to love Logos, and then the power will never go away.
I refuse to love Logos. They...
Logos just make other houses good.
Right. So it seems to be immune to nerfing.
Yeah. So the real question is, after the first vault, how many of our top 8 Archon decks will have Geistoid, and how many will have Logos?
Ooh, see, here's the issue.
All
Logos,
of them will have one of those.
Yes. Yes, I agree with that.
Yeah. Yes, I agree with that point as well.
I maybe one deck shows up that doesn't have them, but
I don't think so.
In the top 8,
there are. I mean, there is still the possibility we haven't touched it, but there's still a possibility. No, because that is Geistoids. I would say there's a possibility of the Equidon Shard enhanced being good enough, but probably not without also the Geistoid Shard.
Yep. Yeah, so I think we get 6 Geistoid, 3 Logos, which means 1 with both.
That sounds like a lot of cream to take care of that problem.
Out of 1 out of talk.
All right, say it again. I'm writing this in paper here.
Oh, what are we doing? You want actually?
I'm saying 6. There's going to be 6 Geistoid in the top 8, and which one? Roseville or Rochester? What
Rochester's going to be the first one.
Yeah, Rochester. I'm going to say 6 Geistoid decks in the top 8 and 3 Logos, which means there's going to be 1 deck that's got both Geistoid and Logos.
Okay.
Coming from talk. Or I guess, it could be, or Amber Skies, I guess, right? So maybe it's actually got to be a little more. Maybe it's going to be 4 Logos and 6 Geistoid. Yeah.
4 Logos?
4 Logos, 6 Geistoid.
That seems high. I will lie to no one. I really want to say it's more going to be... You said top 8, right?
Yes, I did, sir.
I'm going to say... I want to say 6 and 2.
Okay.
6 Geistoid, 2 Logos. I think
That's
you'll have
what
2.
Graz said.
Didn't he say more?
No, he said 6 and 4. 2 overlap.
Yeah, I said 6 and 4. Yeah.
Oh, with 2 overlap, yeah. I don't think you're going to have much overlap there. Because I think the 2 decks that are going to have it that are either going to be from Talk or Ember Skies it's going to have Logos in it. but it's going to have like some busted Skyborn BS. Where it's just, it's going to have that double. And it's just steal. I'm actually curious. When is that? When did they finish this week and last week and final? I don't even know where we are. Final refrain, is it on the final?
Yeah,
top
four is there.
Okay. I'm really interested to see where Lorenzo's deck goes.
That's why when we're looking at the top
matchup this week with Cat Marrow having the double mimicry, and we'll get into mimicry in a little bit. Right?
Cheap. What are you rolling with for your Rochester?
8 Brobnar decks.
Got it. 0.
Glad to see you're taking this seriously.
Like everything in life.
Yeah. I can't wait to go through that recap. And Sheep was way off by saying 8 Brobnar.
No, I mean I'm with you guys. I think it's like almost purely will be Logos and Geistoid. The actual guess, I don't know, but it will be lots of them.
Now the real question: do they do anything about it?
What are they possibly going to do?
I don't know.
So I just went back to...
I feel like every time we have a vault tour, right? The first vault of the year, first and second vault, we come into cards that are real big problems, right? Last year was Winds. Everybody complained about... Well, actually, before it even happened, it was Ecto. And then it was Winds. And, well, they did something with Ecto. They basically changed it back how it originally was. They didn't do anything with Winds. So, I mean, they did make a change pretty close to game time on Ecto. Just a question of, like, do they make that snap judgment where, like, we got to do something about this and errata something? Or do they just go, leave it alone? My guess is, leave it alone. But
they're going to leave it alone.
That's my guess, too. Because
so,
they're gonna be like,
I don't think they're going to immediately attack. All right, so I just went back to the last Vault Tour, not Worlds. Well, no, I didn't go back to Worlds on purpose. I went to Las Vegas because it was like that's maybe more similar, right? You're not getting as many international folks, right? So how many? So there was no Amber Skies, no, no talk. So how many of the top 8 do you guys think had GR, and how many had Logos?
Vegas, was it?
Had GR, had Geistoid is what I'm trying to say. Had Geistoid, and how many had Logos?
You went back to Vegas, right?
Yep.
Didn't like all but, let's see, I'm almost positive Fraud made top 8 in Vegas. So like 7?
Yeah, I wasn't piloting it, but it did.
So like 7? Because I think Fraud would have been the only non-GR deck that might have made top 8.
Mm-hmm. Yep, you got it right.
Oh.
So there was Pig Fraud, piloted by Math and Love with Logos, and all the other decks had Geistoid.
I think Geistoid is still going to show up, but I think that with Disc, I think that with 4.
Sorry.
Yeah, I think with Disc, I think Disc going ahead and showing up in Talk and going ahead and playing its part in Amber Skies, I think both can definitely keep Geistoid and Logos from showing up as a complete dominant. We'll see. But I do think that there are some lines where you can actually have...
See, but the problem is, like, Talk is fine, but, like, I feel Talk is very much like old school Coda. It's so hit and miss, right? You either get a monster or you get
like WoW in that way.
Well, fair, but you either get a monster or you get dumpster fire, right? It's either this unbelievable, oh my gosh, greatest thing of all time, or it's like, I could throw this in the trash bin now and no one would be any the wiser. Is that just me? Am I the only one who has that feeling? I know, Ewok, you're going to tell me, no, I'm wrong.
No, I think that talk is overrated. I think on SAS especially. But I do think that there's some really solid cards there. The question's going to come back with tokens in either Winds of Exchange or Tokens of Change. You have to look at how you're going to recur them. If you have ways to pull back your key cards, then you mitigate going ahead and just spamming tokens out. If you don't, then you're playing luck of the draw, and luck of the draw consistent across a tournament isn't going to be there.
Sure. Interesting. All right, we got all our predictions down. Sheep says 8 Brobnar deck. 8 Brobnar. I'm going to shit a brick if it all of a sudden comes back. There are 8 Brobnar decks that make it.
Yeah, I think we all would.
Yeah. Fair enough.
If more than 2 Brobnar decks make it, we would probably be surprised.
Speaking of Brobnar, number 7 on our list, Brick Nasty fighting Beanstalk.
It's still something.
It is a thing.
You need to be aware of it. You need to be able to see if they can control the board with. I mean, we saw Astron's top 4 deck from Worlds, and it can still do things. It went ahead and was successful in taking me out for Final Refrain. So I definitely think that there are lines there that can be taken. But Beanstalk, bringing in your giants and then being able to, they come in ready and you can search for them is really good. Brick Nasty, where I can fight and gain Amber, I'm using it for C plus going ahead and Amber generation. Yes, please.
So moral of the story, be wary of any Vietnamese decks.
Basically.
Well,
Deal.
Always, but yeah.
And I thought we were all under the same conclusion that all decks had to be in English. I guess that's also not a thing.
No, Archon card.
Yeah, so your deck does not have to be... I could have swore at one time they said, starting this year, your deck needed to be in the country of origin's language.
Well, I think what they said was it has to be in a language that the tournament organizer deems as an okay language. So they'll forget to tell us.
Well, that's
what languages are okay, which means that every language will be okay, right?
Well, right, but that's what it says right now is that the tournament organizer will tell you what languages are okay.
Well, we're less than a month away from Rochester, and they haven't said anything, right? So if somebody's got to order a copy in a different language, they got to let us know ASAP. Otherwise, people are going to be upset.
People are still thinking they're taking a foreign language variant and haven't gotten the English. Like, who do we think is actually going to get surprised with this?
I mean, it sounds like something the Wookiee would do.
Most people don't even like playing non-English decks if they're English.
No, I got my foreign language deck in English, and I just Cindy got just in case there's 3.5 people for Alliance, and I want an automatic top 4. I had her order Z's decks in English too, just so I could go play Alliance, just in case. But we'll talk about that in a little bit, because that's another point of contention that we still don't know. That we've been told one thing, and we'll see if that holds true. You're going to Rochester,
going
right?
to row as well. Up Rochester.
Drascore is going to Rochester, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So you'll have to let us know.
At this moment, the only one I'm missing is Portland, because I now have a wedding to go to then. So.
But I think you're the only one going to all of them this year, to be honest with you. I think the rest of us are going to Roseville.
4 of the 5?
I get the rest of us are going to Roseville and calling it a day.
Vegas.
I'm not going to Vegas.
I gotta go to Florida that week.
Weird story. The Roseville Vault Tour is on my wedding anniversary.
There you go.
So
Meh. We'll be having fun.
Yeah.
So will
Just send pictures to the wife.
So will I. She can watch me on stream.
There you go.
You're in the doghouse.
You guys can do something afterwards.
That's what I said, before or after.
I have to go for training on my birthday.
Yay! That's a little different. But anyways, Moving forward, one of the things that we keep talking about, but I don't know if it's really crept up as much as we thought it was going to be a thing. Kalp Browser combo, the lockout. I feel like it's a thing. I just don't know if it's popped up enough. I mean, it obviously still has to be a thing you're aware of, right?
I mean, Bandola is still a thing, right? So,
but is Bandola winning via lockout? I mean, I haven't watched any.
I can tell you, I still have PTSD from last year. Yeah, I would say that
still
it still
have
has
PTSD from 2 years ago.
No, this is from Count Brio is definitely something that if you see across from you and there's ways to taunt it, you better be able to think about it. Otherwise, you're just done.
Yes, it is a thing.
If this is on the list of to watch out for, yeah, it's brutal.
Yes, I will agree. Like, it is a thing that, like, you don't want to get caught off guard, and all of a sudden it's like Kelp Brio, and you're like, oh shit, that's not good.
Better bring something that can kill Brio.
I think. Well, and the other answer here is when Kelp hits the board, and you go, well, I have a better efficiency turn or something where I ignore the Kelp for a turn. Don't ignore the Kelp for a turn, because the next turn they could taunt it, ward it, something, and all of a sudden now you have no solution for killing a Kelp. So when you get a chance to kill a Kelp,
kill the Kelp.
Kill a Kelp.
Take it.
It is the number one witchiest witch.
It is
currently.
witch status.
Yeah.
It is a honorary witch status card. Kill the Kelp. Next cards, special cards. You put on here Archanometer and Witch Queen. Yes?
I mean, Archanometer is just so brutal.
Yeah, I think you only really have to worry about it when it's enhanced. And then 2/3 of their turn, they have like automatic power amber control. Like the only thing that's beating that is Mars shenanigans or perhaps Brobnar with a bunch of riots.
Yeah, like a board situation. Because even the Mars shenanigans are normally replaying cards, right? So you're...
Yeah, but if every time you play, you get 2 reaps, you are netting amber.
That is true.
Or if you have the board and you can reap out. So Archanometer being your Logos artifact with enhanced 2 Logos pips, action during your opponent's next turn. Each time they play a card, they lose 1. So if you're playing a card, you're automatically losing. You have to be generating more than 1 a turn, which is where the argument's coming from. I think there's some items that can do it, but this slows you up if you don't have hard R.
It can be brutal to play against Archanometer, especially if they have C, so like you can't establish a board. It is a brutal, not fun card to play against.
So, but if you so it's things to watch out for. But what if you don't have hard R? What do you do about it? Hope
you have to at the bottom of the board. You have to reconsider what your typical plan is and figure out how you board up and reap.
I do think this card could change the meta, right? If we see a couple dominant Archanometer decks, like people may have to reconsider not bringing R, or might have to reconsider.
How many just in your practice games and what you're playing? How many people have?
I've played against them. I played against them at Archon Store Champs.
Okay.
Yep.
A few times already.
I think part of it is maybe it's just like it's painful to play against, so I have an outsized memory of that versus other things that I've lost to. So, or won against, right? Like
it's kind of like opening your 26 creature deck, and then they play Quicksilver Stone on turn 1, and you're just like, I mean, like it's that brutal of a feeling a card sometimes.
Yep. I mean, it is an Ember Skies. We don't know what we'll be playing in Sealed, but I'm assuming it will be Ember Skies.
Yeah, so that one looks like the first event looks like it's Amber Skies.
Oh man, that's gonna be weird if it all of a sudden it goes Ember Skies and then switches to Prophetic Visions.
That's almost certainly what it's going to do.
Yeah, but I mean,
It probably
we were talking that there will be a delay based on
14 days
but it's 14 days once being added to
added to the tournament legality list.
yes.
Which they said they got until the 12th of next month to get it on there.
Correct.
Which means, well, except there is a rule in there that says unless otherwise noted.
Yeah.
So
Unless
it could
you feel
be
like
just
changing it.
like, oh, we forgot. Well, it's legal. Deal with it.
Yeah. Or they'll just do it for sealed or something for fun.
Yeah, for fun. That's why they do it.
Well, for fun's fine.
That's what I'm waiting for, because I didn't know there was a list of legal sets, and I thought as soon as a set was released, or at least maybe that was the old rule, as soon as a set was released, it was available for play.
That was until that was the rule. Well, Orbital was saying, check the tournament rules, and everybody's like, dude, it's not in tournament rules. He's like, what? Because it kept not getting added to the tournament rules, and yes, now it is in the tournament rules on set legality. It was added last year.
Yeah. Well, it was just added in this last one. That was January, wasn't it?
Added this year.
All right. This one, Veil Rays. Ewok. This one is one that gives me a little bit of PTSD.
Sure. What's happening with it?
Well, I know all about Veil. And boy, is that a pain in the butt. What is that? Capture one for each
Geistoid
and discard.
that's in the discard pile.
Yep.
I mean, without the craptacular rays, it's only a good stall card.
Yes and no. I mean, Veil is what basically beat me in Nationals. Because you dump them all in the discard, you raise. You Veil.
You need the crepuscular rays.
Yes. Well, that's
And I actually think it's the crap rays is more of the problem than Veil is.
I mean,
Or more
Veil
of the cards you got to watch out. If you see a crep raise, you need to be really looking at what else they're doing and preventing them from stacking amber.
Oops, I just clicked on the wrong thing.
And not make a goofy move and exile something to them.
Yeah, so the two cards, shall we actually talk about them? Veil of Ectoplasm, Geistoid, action, play for each Geistoid card in your discard pile. A friendly creature captures one. That was the first one. And then
Crap raise is choose a friendly creature, move each ember from that creature to your pool, destroy that creature.
And so if we can stack it, and there's a couple different ways to be able to do that, but the easy one being in-house with Veil. So I'll capture, and then boom, I kill it, and I just took all of your amber. Thank you. Repeat.
Mm-hmm.
It is a very awkward steal, but a steal basically nonetheless. And then you get on here pipped house cards, so I'm assuming you're meaning house pip enhanced cards.
Yeah, I think that with the new set for Amber Skies, it is definitely something to watch out for, whether that's your Archanometer, but there's some really, really funny shenanigans that can be pulled off with house enhanced pips. Even just lining up on some of the Mars creatures, you can really arise into a very, very, very large Mars turn. So there's a whole lot that can be done with it.
Yeah, and I think when you see an Ember Skies deck come in at high level, not always, but often it's because there's some interesting thing that they're able to do that they wouldn't normally be able to do because of the house enhancement. So now the trick here, right, is you get that Archon card slid across from you. You can't tell the difference between a capture pip and a house enhancement pip.
Nope, it's just
now
blue.
You can ask them, or you can pop open the master vault and take a look, and that's a thing we might have to get in the habit of, right? Like I don't.
So now there's the question,
often ask.
because in the So it's weird because they did put it in the new tournament rules and regulations that you are not allowed to use any external websites, and only judges
DOK.
are.
Yeah, no DOK.
Well, it says external websites, so you're not allowed to
They
use
mean-
website. It's not how it's
No, you
worded.
can use
though.
the Master
It's
Vault.
not how it's worded. They
No, because you can
Well,
use Master Vault. They've gone.
Yeah,
out.
that's what they're trying to say with external, meaning not outside of
Yeah,
GG.
no DOK, guys.
I'm just saying, with the way they worded it, someone can make the
It
argument.
is
I,
linked
obviously,
right in the tournament software.
I understand.
Mhm.
I understand. I don't know why you're yelling at me.
Because you're trying to
You're wrong.
argue something that isn't a real thing.
I realize what they're gonna say is, well, that's not what we meant, and we'll probably all move on from there. But with the way
We
it's,
all have moved on.
oh my god! All right, sheep. Sounds good. We've all moved on.
Thank you.
So we want to talk about some cards from the past and seeing how they stack up today. First on the list, Mimicry. I believe this card is at an all-time high for on the wants list.
I mean, as cards improve, this card improves, right? And cards have gotten better. Therefore, this card has gotten better in Archon.
Yeah.
Well, it's sealed too, but in Archon.
And as a result of its effect, I get to go ahead and choose your best action. Yes, please.
Red line.
Mhm.
But that's
I know.
I think
like
what
how sheep found what I was exactly hitting. Go ahead. Yeah,
I think the chance to be able to go ahead and recur or bring back, okay, you can red line, but if I can counter your red line, then it's a game of, do we both have it? Do I have a counter to your counter? And that's where there's some thought process, but Mimicry is real good.
Next on the list, IG.
Well,
Yes.
I mean, IG, right? It's in sets that
you
aren't
don't see a ton of now.
being played as much. So, for that reason, I think it's not.
Sheep, how is IG treating you over there in Fraud?
It's a card. One in every 15 games that actually gets any amber.
Really?
Yep.
I got a good amount of Ember when I played it at Nationals. People knew
Yeah.
it was there and
Well-
tried to play around it, but unfortunately, like, sometimes you just gotta let your deck have it and say if you got it, you got it. And more times than not, I did have it. So I guess that's the thing. I'm surprised you don't get
Yeah,
that much.
I
I'm
play that
surprised-
too. I never have it.
Oh well.
Mhm.
I never I got a lot. Maybe you just results may vary, I guess.
Playing it
think
wrong.
I don't know. Outside of Fraud, how often have you guys seen IG? And I think that's just
not very
That's
often.
real-
It's not printed in a lot of these sets, so I think you're just not seeing it. And there's I don't know if you're
Yeah.
a lot of these
It's
sets
good.
can't hang.
yeah. It's great scaling, it just isn't there.
Right.
So.
Can't hang. Key cheats. So we're talking. Well, okay. So you have Spooky Charge even on here. I mean, obviously, we just talked about Key Abduction, still going to be around.
Ecto charge.
Ecto Charge. I don't see.
So
a ton of
so
Ecto.
the comment that was there is Q cheats. The sets that are presently in meta.
Right. Oh, so
Outside-
you're talking just so Ecto Charge.
Ecto and Key Abduction are definitely relevant with the sets, but outside of that and Spooky, like what other are key cheats? Yes, we always want to have a key cheat. We can go ahead and turn it in for a key, but I don't know. I've just
The Worlds Open. So the Open at Worlds, the winning Archon deck had Empyrean Charge. And it was Raikou was pretty good at firing that. Then there's also Ember Drakes, right? Now they're kind of a weird one.
They have not panned out. the way I think we all thought they were gonna.
I got at Worlds the open, right? Not the, but it's open. So I brought an Amber Drake deck that was top 4. I know a Amber Drake Alliance got top 8. I don't know if Joni got farther than that. Joni X brought that, right? And there was I think we're gonna see some Amber Drake stuff.
I have not seen much Ember Drake stuff, but I don't know. Final Refrain, I don't think had a single Ember Drake in it.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was GR. So maybe just because GR is GR.
All right, corner of the market. This is one that a lot of people are playing around with.
That.
Yeah.
If this feels
I
more
think that's
alliance-y than...
it's only super meaningful because of things like Morgan's deck, where you can get cross-enhanced archiving cards where you can loop play this, and it does exist in Archon decks.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen enough of this to say it's an Archon scare. But it's definitely something to look for. If you see an Amber Skies deck, you're like, why is this good? And what they have is
double quarter of the market.
yeah,
And one's blue. Here's a big one. Befuddled. Such a powerhouse of a card back in WoW. And I feel like you haven't seen much of it. Here's a question.
Yeah, I mean...
You have a triple Befuddle deck?
I do.
With the fish, right?
Yes.
Have you tried firing that into what's around? Is it still just too slow? Like,
I think that what I have seen is that you are looking at limited creature control. And creature control is definitely something with Talk that is out, but also Amber Skies with Arise and just to spit out creatures with House and Hands pips.
because in that deck you also have what am I thinking of? Turtle in the Pontoon. Put them all back in your put all creatures back in your hand, discard down to 6. Catch and release.
Yeah.
Oh, I was like, Turtle the Pontoon? What the
Yeah, I was really trying to follow this.
The picture is a turtle. He's a turtle in a floaty.
Yes. All right. I do know what you're talking about now. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder. I don't know. I guess that's a real, because even with Mars right now, like, okay, I play my Mars board, catch and release. I guess that's a real big gamble. Like, maybe you hit the pieces you need, maybe you don't. Ugh. Or am I just filling your discard up for a big wins play?
The catch and release?
Yeah, because you discard down to 6, so...
Yeah, so I'm taking all the cards off of your board
Yes.
and your hand, and it's hand disruption, it's board disruption, and it is going ahead and dropping you that hopefully you're messed back up. You're going to 6 cards.
Right.
It's a great card, but it's not... I don't think that there's enough C in Melondrak to make it playable. And I think the Befuddle, Unfathomable action with an Amber Pip, because yes, it needs that. Play, choose a house on your opponent's identity card. During their next turn, they cannot play cards of other houses. But again, if Mars is already out there, I don't need to play it. I'm just going ahead and... I guess I want to play cards so that I can go ahead and replay the Mars shenanigans. But if I can't get rid of your Mars and you can just take here's for 3 or 4, Amber, it's still a good turn.
You cannot play. Does Dr. X say play a creature from your discard pile or put into play?
Yeah. Play.
It is play. So it will stop a Dr. X.
Yeah, from recurring it. But again, any of the board, you just take the turn and you're going ahead and reaping out from what's there. Like if you have board against Befuddle, you're still fine.
Yeah, Befuddle is an awesome card. It's just that Woe is not strong in the current meta. So you're not going to see much of this.
Well, again, so with Woe, you have the same issue that you have a little bit with talk. You have to have consistent recursion of key cards that might be tokenized. There are a number of ways to do it, but how frequently can you go ahead and recur those? If you are now beating the curve on how often I can pull back my befuddles in my corner of the markets or my key cards, that really, really matters. If GR is just frankly tossing it in the discard and recurring them without needing to go ahead and tokenize anything, right now it seems to be faster. So why are we seeing, in Final Refrain, why did you see the one talk that's there? Because it has super steel with double red line and
it's got super steel. Double red line, double against all flags, safe port. And was it silver lining? Steel one if you do create a token creature, something like that. I can't remember the name of the card, but it's another steel. It's a steel one card. Super steel is a thing.
Yeah, safe port is if you're so safe port is
capture or it could be capture or steal.
Yeah, if your yellow key is forged, a friendly creature captures 2. If your opponent's yellow key is forged, steal 1. Amber Pip on it. Action for common.
Yeah.
But it is in both Amber Skies and Talk. So I don't know. It just, I think in our present meta, I think IG is gone down. Just we don't see it a lot. I think Mimicry has gone up because the actions that are out there are very, very, very good. I think key cheats are still really, really important, but you're just not seeing them. And the ones that hit, I know Pete had thrown in for Key Frog for Talk. That's definitely something that's still there. A lot of these cards, according to the Market Befuddle, they're really, really good. But if they're just not, if they're coming in sets that aren't as viable to play right now, you're seeing less of them, which is probably what's happening with the next card as well.
Next card we got is Hellafast. I did
Real
go up
good.
against a Hellafast deck in Final Refrain. Hellafast Brio deck. Yeah, Hellafast is good. But man, there's some card play on 10 really kind of helped me out with that quite a bit. Making sure, you'll get something out of it one time, but no, you don't get anything because you got to wait. Never mind, they don't come to play ready. But yeah, being able to just deal with it, with some good C kind of took care of it. But
again, this is very much if you can get it early, it completely rearranges the tempo, and it's absolutely amazing. What's odd is that it puts chains. So if you can go ahead, if someone Hellafast and then drops it, but you're able to go ahead and wipe it, those chains may be enough just to completely turn that tide right there. But we have not seen WoW compete as much. As soon as GR came out, as I anticipate seeing more Talk and more Amber Skies, and I think we'll see less and less of WoW.
Speaking of a card that was white hot at one point in time that you really don't see too much anymore, Infernus.
Mm-hmm. It's because those sets just aren't as good anymore.
Yeah.
Still a great card. But,
not reprinted, by the way. Not reprinted.
Yeah, and it turns out Gigantics at least still are not good enough in Archon. So you're not even going to see them with the new Gigantics.
Yeah.
We got on here 2 Sky Beast Anomalies Haunted Creatures. That one. What anomalies would you see? I think there's only really the one that you'd be looking for anymore at this point, but that would be way back in Worlds Collide.
What, Lateral Shift?
Lateral Shift.
Which also never showed up in a place to be meaningful.
It was just, it's too rare. It was one of those things where you don't see it because it's so rare. Like, how often did you really see Lateral Shift? And when it did pop up, it popped up in a poo-poo deck.
Well, I mean, Grim Reaper has shown up, Infomancer is there, Memolith, they just haven't really come to fruition. I think
because they're all bad.
I can't disagree.
Grim Reaper's great.
But Grim Reaper's now just a card. It's the Anomaly version is of little value or meaning now.
a little meaning, right?
But like cards like Portal Monster, like there's some, I don't know, there's some decks that can do some wonderful, wonderful things with some of these very unique cards.
Yeah, but it's not meaningful in Archon.
Right.
I do agree with that one.
Well, the other card that I had on here was Eaton's Jar. I think that's an interesting card. With the smaller card pool, Wookie, I know that's just how you had felt facing off against it, but when you're bringing large amounts, whether that is the Mars shenanigans or that's Geistoid, and you can recur, and all of a sudden it's taken out, it can do some amazing things to decks, but the other cards in MM are just not strong enough to hold up with it right now, is what it seems. So
Well, and you got on here FFG sets question mark.
yeah, I put it as all FFG sets.
Yeah, I mean they're all in this weird, sad state of purgatory where they just don't matter anymore.
Outside of a
Few, a
it's a handful. It's a handful.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't even heard from what's Nova's deck.
That deck's done.
That deck's done.
Yeah, that's just a Infernus-y kind of. Yeah, no,
Yeah. It's done.
pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah, Jacques was
Jacques,
actually
that's what
it. Yeah, Jacques.
I'd be surprised if we see Nova at an event again.
Well, that too.
I mean,
But
Portland's right next door to her, right? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
But you just,
yeah, all FF. I just don't know. I'm trying to think of decks that might even like still be able to put up. I mean, obviously, Fraud's still floating.
I mean, you can make the argument for what we saw with Final Refrain, and that there were a handful of decks that showed up out of the 32 that were FFG sets.
This is fun to watch. This guy's got a Dr. X triple intentional discharge with a time traveler with a Mars enhancement.
Kill your time traveler, get him back.
You intentional discharge, which puts the time traveler back in your hand, readies the Dr. X.
Yeah, and then you get to keep drawing.
Yeah.
Wow.
I've actually faced that before.
Pete says, "Oh, that fucking thing." Pete has obviously gone up against this deck. Yeah, FFG sets kind of I don't know. Like, I still have my One Worlds Collide deck. I don't think it stands anymore. I don't think it does. Yeah, this is just tough. It's hard out there right now in the KeyForge days. Harder than ever. So, I think
Swear to God, I just played this deck, but somebody else was playing something very similar to it.
could be.
At me.
All right,
God.
boys.
So with that
I can
being
hear
said,
Yes.
we're drawing it into a close this week. We are all done. Hopefully, maybe some of these things help you at Rochester. Maybe they will. Maybe they won't. With that being said, we'll see you all next week.
Happy forging, everyone.
May the Forge be with you. Come stream us in Discord and tell us how we're wrong about what's going to show up at Rochester.
Yeah. Watch it all be Worlds Collide.
I think we're undervaluing the broken shit that happens because of house enhancements. That's just because we haven't opened any of them. Man, they are dumb when they happen.
I don't think
Dumb
that all of us are undervaluing it, but we'll see.
I know they can be dumb. I haven't ran into anything.
You don't play enough KeyForge.
I don't play on TCO. You're right. I don't like playing online. I hate playing a card game on a computer. And it is not my thing. You're right. If we had more
all on about that with that other game that they have an official online client, and that's a big deal.
Yes, it is a big deal. And
Just not for you.
It's not for me. I don't like playing a card game on a computer. It's just not for me. I don't like it. Which is why I play very little of the card game of Altered. Because I don't enjoy playing on TCO.
Well, welcome to the modern world. People don't like seeing each other.
Well,
Gotta play online.
then you keep your house enhancements, and I'll eat your cards.
Now I'm deep inside their game. Nothing here remains the same. Each card holds a different key to what these masters help me see. In this corner of time and space, where reality shifts its face.